We grow up with a specific promise that effort leads to advancement, that if you contribute your labor, the economy will contribute to your future. But lately, for millions of people working 50 or 60 hours a week, that promise feels like it's drifting away. In the decades following the Second World War, this advancement was visible in the neighborhood. A single, reliable income could typically secure a house, a car, and a stable path for the next generation. This stability was the result of a massive industrial expansion. Productivity was high, and for a generation, wages for the middle class rose in tandem with the value of the goods they produced. During this era, upward mobility was a reliable expectation for the average worker. Putting in the time at the factory or the office yielded a predictable return in the form of a middle-class life. Today, that trajectory has changed. While the effort remains, the results look different for the majority of the population. Consider the distance between the rungs of economic success. Over the last 40 years, the middle has stretched thin, while the top of the ladder has moved into a different atmosphere entirely. This raises a question we have to explore. If Americans are still working, why has the traditional reward for that work become so difficult to reach? To find where the gains of the last few decades have landed, we have to look at the peak of the economy. Individuals like Jeff Bezos represent a scale of wealth that is detached from the concept of hourly labor or a standard salary. Elon Musk represents the same shift. At this level, net worth is driven by massive assets rather than time spent performing a task. This chart shows how the nation's total wealth is currently distributed. A tiny fraction of the population now holds a share of assets that dwarfs the rest of the country combined. That concentration manifests in the physical world through staggering displays of luxury, like the growing fleets of private superyachts seen in harbors around global hubs. In this bracket, wealth is generated by ownership. These stories are statistical outliers, far removed from the paths available to the average citizen. Lower down the ladder is the middle class, the group that historically served as the engine of the national economy. Here, the paradox is clear. We see a workforce taking on multiple roles and maximizing their hours in the gig economy, yet many find themselves falling behind. This trend is explained by a simple comparison. Since the 1970s, median wages have remained relatively flat, while the costs of housing, healthcare, and education have climbed significantly higher. We see the result on the morning commute, the physical and emotional weight of working for a lifestyle that remains just out of reach. For the modern middle class, the traditional function of hard work has shifted. For many, it has become a way to manage rising costs rather than getting ahead. At the base of the ladder, we find the growing population of those the system has left behind. Modern financial stability is a thin surface. A sudden medical bill or a single lost job can erase years of effort and lead to an immediate crisis. This creates a jarring contrast in our cities, makeshift encampments standing in the direct shadow of immense corporate wealth. This vulnerability is rarely part of the national conversation, yet it is a reality for thousands of people who were once part of the workforce. So, is the American dream dead? The evidence suggests a more complicated reality. Opportunity still exists, but the path is no longer equal. This visualization shows how class and generational wealth determine your position before you even begin. The dream has changed. Instead of a predictable outcome for everyone who works, it has become a prize for the few who can overcome a mounting set of obstacles. As we look at the skyline, we have to ask, who is this system currently serving, and who is being told to chase an illusion? The future depends on whether we can re-establish the link between a person's labor and their ability to build a life. Without that link, the dream remains a story we tell, rather than a reality we live.